Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just in case lunch make you feel a little drowsy and you want to take a nap, I would like to begin the afternoon session with a song. And this particular song is quite famous. The name is I Am Woman by Helen Reddy. Some of you may know it, some of you may not even hear about it. But this song, with the words and the lyrics, it's quite an influence for most of the younger generation of women. I want to point out some of the lyrics from this particular song. Words such as, I am strong, I am invincible, I am woman. All these words seem to indicate the new roles of which women play in present-day Thailand's entertainment industry. Thai audience have long been enchanted by quite a number of outstanding and talented actresses. Their excellent performance not only captured the heart and the soul of male and female admirers all over the country, but managed to influence their day-to-day life as well. For example, the fashion, the lifestyle, and even the behavior of the people of Thailand. I'm going to tell you a story. Once I remember that every Thai woman of all ages had their hair done in the same style as the most famous superstar of that time, Kun Pechara Chawarat. This is to say that actors can create impacts upon our society as much as any actors around. And many leading ladies have established themselves as principal authority in the art of performing. And to name a few, Kun Amara Aswanun, Kun Pissamai Vilaisak, Kun Patrawadi Mishuton. All these women are among the best of the Thai actresses today. And one woman among them is the national artist, Juree Osiri. For 60 years, she has dedicated herself to artistic life. But this is one kind of business that once you get in, it is very hard to get out. That's why she stays so long. She began her career as a singer, then transformed herself into being an actress, a dubber, an entertainer, and ended up a writer. But Thai people always remember her as the most famous dubbing artist. Oh, a lot of you, I'm sure, would like to ask that why the dubbing? What is so important about dubbing? Because in our place like Hollywood, the dubbing artist is such a tiny part of machinery in the film industry. There are a group of people that nobody ever seen, nobody ever meet or recognize. But strangely enough, in Thailand, they play a very big part indeed. And I will tell you why. Since the beginning of the Thai film industry more than half a century ago, all films were shot with 16 millimeters film size without sound. The negative print had to be sent abroad for developing process, then returned for screening. Then at the cinema, usually they have two dubbing artists to provide the dialogue for all the characters in the film. One male, one female, that's all, to do all the characters in the film. Juree Osiri at one time had to do as much as 10 and to 20 female and children parts in the different tone and sound of voice. Actor and actress at that time depend their popularity on the skill and the expertise of these dubbing artists. They use all sorts of tricks and techniques to create a very entertaining experience in watching the film. I was there. I remember that I went to this dubbing room. It's a very small and tiny room in a cinema, very high up above the screening room. It's for only two people to sit in there, very dark, only a tiny light that shine on the script in front of you with a microphone. That's a workplace for my mom and her colleagues. And at that place, they create some kind of magic. They can perform as any actor in the film that you see. They can be any character that you want or the film wants. It's quite an experience to be sitting in there and watching them work. There's one time they used a coconut shell, two coconut shells actually, knock it together to create the sound of the horse hoof running. That's the way they used at that time. Juree and her colleagues established themselves to a new level of importance in the film industry. Therefore, their names sometimes appear slightly bigger than the title of the film, or even bigger than the actors on the billboard in front of all the cinema all over the country. But her greatest achievement happened after she had been awarded National Artist in Performing Art by Her Royal Highness Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn and National Culture Commission of Thailand. At the age of 70, she helped set up the Senior Actors Welfare Foundation to provide both health care and financial help for those who need. For the sad truth is that once an actor lives past his or her prime, a job will be hard to come by. Many of them end up in poverty and sickness. And she wants to find a way to help all of them by creating this foundation. She became the first president of the foundation and devoted the last 12 years of her life for this humanitarian cause. What's so important about this foundation? I was born 59 years ago into this business Since I was 3 years old, I went to the film production. I saw how the film was made. I saw a lot of my mom's work, being a dubber, being an actress. I've been seeing all the old actor and actress that at the end of their life, they became so poor, they became so helpless, that I think that why does someone do anything about these people, these actors and actresses that we find them very amusing, very entertaining on the screen? I think that's what my mother always thought about. The people who cannot help themselves, the people who no longer have any part in the film industry, how can we help them? That's what is the main reason that my mother and some of the actors and actresses try to do with this foundation. The woman influence in film industry has been going on for a long, long time. Most of the teacher and how do you say it? All this great authority in performing arts, most of them are women. I don't see many of teachers in, not much of them are male, right? I always see and find them that teachers are mostly women. And now I'd like to show you some of the works that my mom have been doing. And since there's no subtitle, I'll try to give a commentary as the VTR goes by. So let's have a look at it. I don't know if I can turn it on though. Ah yes, I found it. This song has been recorded originally 60 years ago on a vinyl.